and also it's also good to just like let our children know the effects of being a part of, or be the effects of working with other peers who they know carry weapons. Hi everyone, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So I came across a news. I think that news was about a couple of weeks ago, but I've just not had a chance to sit down to do to film a video about it. So obviously, being a parent myself, I felt like, oh, I really need to come discuss this video or this news that I saw. So this news was on Vanguard. It's practically in all the news channel in the UK, on the website, and in the news as well. So according to the thumbnail and according to the title there, you see that it pertains to Nigerian kids. Yeah, Nigerian kids. Hence why I said earlier on that the parent in me would not allow me let this story pass without saying one or two things in regards to this story. So it says that 4 Nigerian students jailed in the UK after fighting with knives, baseball bats. So there are 4 students of Nigerian descent. They have been sentenced for their involvement in a violent disorder that took place in Leicester during the early hours of November 4, 2021. So this news or this incident happened about 3 years ago, to 2021, and they've only just sentenced them this year. It just goes to show how justice might not be immediate, but whoever a crime has been committed against will definitely get justice. You might not get that justice instantly, just like every other person. You might not get that justice instantly, but if you're in a working country, trust me, that justice will come. It might just take a few years or a long process, but then that justice will come. So what happened? This says here that the confrontation involving knives and a baseball bat escalated into a large fight on New Park Street, leaving an 18-year-old man with 4 stab wounds requiring hospital treatment. So as the story read, they've only just concluded a 6-week trial, which was concluded in October there, and the 4 Nigerian boys were sentenced on the 14th of November. So their names, obviously from their names, they are Nigerian children. A couple of them are Yorubas, and they're all of mixed origin anyway. So the first one was Destiny Ojo, who is a 21 years old. He was sentenced to 7 years for violent disorder, attempted grievous bodily harm, and GBH with intent. And the second person, Abib Lawal, 21, all in London, 5 years for violent disorder, attempted GBH, and GBH with intent. And then the third one is Ridwanulai Rahim. He's a 21-year-old boy of London as well. He was sentenced for 3 years for violent disorder and possession of a bladed article. And then the last one was Joshua Davis Hero, 21, of Bexley. He was sentenced to 2 years for violent disorder. And there's a fifth defendant. His name was Justin Asamoah, 22, of Merton. People who previously pleaded guilty to the possession of a bladed article and will be sentenced on the 22nd of November. So which is tomorrow or something. So according to the detective, it says that this incident highlights the serious danger of violent disorder. It is extremely fortunate that further injury was not caused to the people involved or to other members of the public who witnessed the incident. This could have been a very different investigation, yes, especially when it involves knife. You all know, in as much as how small a knife is, the dangers it could cause. You just want to avoid, don't want to find yourself in any situation whereby such is being used, to carry out a act of violence. Okay, the sergeant continued to say that they were thanking everyone who assisted them throughout the investigation. Like I said, this incident happened in 2021 and they've only just sentenced the boys. As a force, our priority is to keep the public safe. That's one of the benefits I, as a Nigerian who is living abroad, enjoys, because we live in a society where their justice system works. Okay, and the officer considers that they will not tolerate violent disorder in our communities and will take action against those responsible. So as you guys could hear from that story, in total there were 5 Nigerian boys of Nigerian descent between the age of 18 and 21. So when I saw that video, when I saw the news, I obviously, as a parent, I was like, oh gosh, that these are young boys who have their lives ahead of them. And it just makes me go back to the fact, or to the thought of or to say that, what, Nigerians is actually hard as an African to raise a child here in diaspora. Yes. So these children, or these five young adults that have been sentenced now, some people say, oh, they were not trained, they were not properly trained by their parents, they were not properly trained by their parents. Trust me, if you look at the household where these boys have come out from, you'll be surprised that it's a two-parent household. You'll be surprised that it's a two-parent household whose parent maybe, just maybe, their parents, I know, they have some sort of professional jobs, they do well and stuff like that, which means that such children should not really be found, find themselves in such an environment, or find themselves in such garden whereby they'll be involved in causing GBH to somebody, even to the extent of carrying a knife. So with that being said, was it not a few weeks ago I was on here and I was like, oh, like, okay, now I've got young adults, as 3 of my children are young adults, and it's come to a stage whereby when I go to church now, I have to drag them. I have to I have to tell them from maybe on Wednesday that we're going to church on Sunday, and even come that Sunday morning when I'm getting ready, they're not even about to get, like, they're not waking up, they're not bothered. And at some point, one of them was asking me that, oh, why do I have to go to your church why do I have to go to church with you? It's not as if they don't know that we have to go to church. These are children that have always been taken to church with me from right from when they were babies. All of my children grew up with me, so it's not as maybe they don't know that, oh, there's church on Sunday, there's a reason why we go to church. But at some point, one of them questioned me that, why do you have to go to church? And I'm like, what do you mean that why do you have to go to church with me? We go to church to serve God, to give thanks. And they know this because we do our family prayer every night. So we pray, they all take turns praying at night, and then myself or my husband will do the general prayer. So they know this. So for one of them to now start saying to me that, oh, I don't want to go to church with, why do I have to go to church with you? And I think I understand where it's coming from. So obviously, one of them felt like they are adults now, that they can decide what they want to do for themselves. They can decide where they go to church, they can decide when they don't want to go to church, they can decide which of the churches they want to go, and which, as an African parent, is quite hard for me to admit or to agree that, oh, if you're going to live under my roof, if you're going to still be living under me, then we'll go to church together because you don't have any excuse of go. It's a different case. Maybe they have somewhere to go, or they have an appointment, or they have an event that I felt like, oh, it's important they go. It's a different case. But if they're going to be at home and they don't have any reason for not wanting to go to church, why do I have to be having a conversation with them that, oh, why you go to church with me? So in the case of these young boys now, I just want to say that I will not fault their parents in any way. With that being said, I don't know their family background. I don't know if they are living with their parents. I don't know if they are children who were raised in the care. I don't know their background, but I want to tell you guys out there, especially Nigerians, who are like, oh, children abroad behave badly, or children abroad behave badly. It's hard as an African parent to raise children here in diaspora. Reason being that the system is different. There are times like this that one of my kids will just maybe annoy me, and I'll be like, if I drag you and give you correct woto, as a normal African parent, if I were to be back home in Africa, that's what I would do, like pull that child closer and give the child correct woto. But I can't do that here. Do that alone. It is the child that will use her leg or his leg to go to the police station and say to the police that this is what my mom did to me. Even if you do it to the young one, even pulling them by their ears, they will go to school and say, hey, my mom did this to me, my mom did that to me, and you all know what that meant. So it only takes the grace of God, patience, to be able to actually raise African children or children in the diaspora. So like I was saying now, at times also, parents also need to make out time for their children. It should not be about walk, and not checking it on the kids. So just because your children are now 18, or you're like, oh no, now they know what they are doing, because at times some of these children is peer pressure. Maybe one of those boys now, he is not the kind of type who will go about carrying knives, but because of the kind of group of friends they move with, children could be easily be persuaded by their peers to go do something they don't want to do. So at that instant, also they will feel like, oh, because my peers or my friends are asking me to do this, they'll probably hype them up, put them in a situation whereby they themselves, they won't be able to say no, just because they want to appear big, just because they want to appear that, oh yes, I'm with the right cool I'm with the right cool friends, I'm with the cool friends because they carry some sort of weapon, which to them they are making mistakes. Look at those boys now, 5 of them now, their lives ruined. Their life is ruined because yes, they will go to jail, their mates will be excelling, and they will be in prison only if they are remorseful and they understand the extent of the crime they've committed, and they maybe change their ways. Then coming out, they might just be able to adjust back into the system. But look at them now. 18, the one that was given 7 years is going to be there till his late 20s. It's just a bad situation for them. And this is to implore all parents who are in their diaspora to say, no, I just want to say hello to each and every one of you. I know it's hard because I'm passing through the same. You know what? Raising children in diaspora is hard, and also it's also good to just like let our children know the effects of being a part of, or be the effects of working with other peers who they know carry weapons. We should try and also encourage and advise our children there's no need for you to carry any weapon in any way. If you're moving with a friend, or if you know of a friend who carry weapons, you should know that for the fact that such friend is carrying a weapon, you should not be making friends with them. You should not be found with them. And we all know how in the years, as it used to be said years ago, that what the way police here in the UK, how they stop black people and stuff like that, is because they know what some of these children are capable of. And it's not only black children that carry weapons, other people of different ethnicity carrying weapons as well. So as a parent, we just need to keep trying to keep saying to our kids, in as much I want to keep you safe, I just need to check in with you. Where are you? When are you coming back home? Who are you meeting? When are you expected to be back? Or if you see the kind of lifestyle they're living, or if you see the kind of attitude they are portraying, we should try and bring them in, rein them in, and let them know that what, I'm not doing this, I'm not saying all this thing because I want to monitor you. I'm just trying to sway you away from moving with bad people or moving with a bad set of friends. And I pray that God, who has given us his children, will not make us mourn over any of our children, because like I tell you, raising children in diaspora is hard as compared to why you are back home in Nigeria. Anybody can't just talk to your child in diaspora, because as you talk to another child, and the child might not like it, and that child will go home and tell you to our parents, and their parents like, how dare you talk to my kids? There's been a few times that I've actually contacted this one and said, how dare you shout at my children? I don't shout, so why are you shouting at my children? I've taken it up and like, no, if you cannot shout at other children, why do you think it's alright for you to shout at my kids? Meanwhile, back home in Nigeria, anybody and any uncle and any auntie could shout or even give your child a good woto, and you as a parent, you will be like, oh, they are training him or her. Your thoughts and opinion in regards to this, what I've shared so far in this video, what, this is not by our mind, it's only God, and also only God that can help us as parents to train all these children to make sure that they are keeping safe and put their heads down, remain focused, so that they don't fall in with a bad crowd. And I hope that those boys who have gone to prison, I hope they put their head down, they realize their mistakes, and they restructure their lives so that once they come out, they can start afresh again. Anyway guys, this is the end of my video. If you've watched till now and you have one or two things to say about the things I've said in the video, please kindly drop them in the comment section. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you have not yet done so, click on the notification button so you don't miss any other video from me, share this video, and I hope to catch up with you in my next one. All right, bye.
Finish them won't fight us. If them they run, them no fit catch up. I know they form say I too righteous. No on they form say you too like us.